Good morning, Virgo. Love of their life. Not one of the loves. Uh, Not a significant chapter. The love. The one that when they look back across everything sits in a category by itself. Um, Incomparable, irreplaceable. Um, the standard against which everything before was preparation and everything after would be lesser, um, in a way they probably can't fully explain, in a way that lives in the body rather than the mind. That's you to this person. Um, Whether they've said it yet or not, let's start with what love of their life actually means, because it's one of those phrases that gets used casually and deserves to be taken seriously. Um, because serious understanding of what it means, rather than the romantic shorthand, is what helps you actually inhabit it. Um, Rather than just hearing it and feeling good for a moment before the doubt finds its way back in. Love of someone's life isn't about intensity alone. Intensity fades. Most people have had uh, intensity doesn't make you irreplaceable. Um, it just makes you memorable. And memorable is different. Um, what makes someone the love of a life, or specifically structurally, is the combination of three things that almost never appear simultaneously in the same person. Um, Recognition, the specific feeling upon encountering someone of something familiar that has never been met before. Not deja vu, something closer to, oh, um, there you are, as if the meeting was always the destination, and everything before it was the route. um, Depth, the capacity to go beyond the surface, beyond the version of each other that's easy to present, into the complicated, unresolved, still becoming interior of another person. And to find in that complicated place, um, not something to fix or manage or improve, but something to love. Actually, love in its current form, uh, not its potential form, the form it's in right now, and choice. The daily, repeated, unglamorous choice, made without ceremony, without witnesses, without the feeling always at full volume, to keep choosing. Um, Not because leaving is impossible, because staying is what they want, uh, specifically with you, um, as the specific, irreplaceable, there is no adequate substitute you. That combination, recognition, and depth and choice, uh, is what makes a love the love of a life. and what's coming through around this connection, what's building in the energy between you and this person carries all three. Uh, all three, this reflection invites you to consider, when did you first feel recognized by this person? Not noticed, recognized, um, the specific moment, however small, however ordinary it looked from the outside, when something in you went still, when the noise of performing yourself quieted because this person was seeing something real and responding to the real thing rather than the curated version. That moment, whenever it um, was probably the beginning of everything that matters about this connection. And it's worth knowing it, worth holding it, um, worth returning to it, especially in the moments when everything else feels complicated. Now, the happiness part, um, you will be very happy. Um, and I want to be careful here because happiness is one of the most misunderstood words in the emotional vocabulary. Uh, most people, when they hear you, will be very happy. Imagine a sustained state, a permanent elevation of feeling, um, every day bright, uh, every moment warm, the difficult parts resolved, the ordinary parts transcended. Um, that's not happiness. That's a feeling. And feelings, even the good ones, are temporary by design. Real happiness, um, the kind worth promising, the kind worth building toward, um, looks different. It looks like waking up in a life that feels like yours, um, not perfect, yours. The specific, particular, built to your actual specifications version of a life that exists when you stop arranging yourself around other people's needs and start building from your own center. Um, it looks like being in a room with someone and feeling more like yourself than you do alone, not less, um, more. Um, the specific expansion that happens when someone's presence amplifies rather than diminishes. When being known, actually known past the curated surface, um, produces safety rather than exposure. Um, when vulnerability isn't a risk, it's just how you talk to this person. Um, that kind of happiness, um, relational happiness, the kind that comes from being seen and chosen and stayed with, is what's possible here. Not guaranteed. Um, possible. Already building. Already assembling itself in the specific, daily, unglamorous way that real things assemble without announcement, without fanfare, uh, just becoming. But here's what you need to hear before the happiness lands fully, before the love of their life becomes the architecture of your daily life. Um, Something needs to be examined. Your capacity to receive happiness, um, not to want it, not to hope for it, to actually receive it when it arrives, without immediately looking for the catch, without the quiet, persistent, possibly unconscious belief that things this good don't stay, that happiness is alone, um, not a permanent condition, and the interest will come due eventually. Because that belief, um, however quietly it runs, however earned it might be by previous experience, doesn't just predict the future, it shapes it. It produces the behavior that creates the outcome it fears. The slight withdrawal when things get too good. The unconscious manufacture of distance before the distance can be manufactured by someone else. The self sabotage that doesn't look like sabotage, uh, it looks like protection. It looks like being careful. It looks like not getting too comfortable in case comfortable becomes the setup for something painful. And that pattern, running underneath the surface of someone who actually wants happiness and is standing directly in front of it, is one of the saddest things I know. So, uh, before this becomes fully yours, and look at it, the belief, the one that says good things don't last for you specifically, um, the one that has evidence, uh, real, lived, legitimately painful evidence from previous seasons where things did, in fact, not last. Look at it directly. Mm, name it. Um, and then consciously, deliberately decide whether it applies here, not whether it ever applied, whether it applies to this person, this connection, this specific version of being loved, um, that is categorically different from what the belief was formed in response to. Because applying an old belief formed in a different context, um, to a new situation, uh, is one of the primary ways people keep arriving at the same outcome in different circumstances with different people, and concluding that the outcome is inevitable. It's not inevitable. It's just the belief, uh, running the same program, um, in situations where a different program is available, um, and available when you consciously choose it, um, is enough. This reflection invites you to consider What would you have to stop believing about yourself, about love, about what's available to you for this happiness to feel like something you're allowed to keep, um, not something that happened to you, um, something that belongs to you permanently without the waiting for the other shoe, uh, without the background hum of enjoy it while it lasts. What belief specifically um, would need to be retired for you to receive this as yours? Because that retirement, not the relationship, not the love, not even the happiness itself, might be the most important work available to you right now. Uh, Now, let's talk about what being the love of someone's life actually requires of you, because this isn't passive. Being someone's great love, the irreplaceable category of one love, um, isn't something that happens to you while you stand still. Um, it's something that's co created daily in the ordinary moments, um, in the choices both people make, um, consistently, quietly, without the feeling necessarily at full volume, to keep showing up for the real version of each other. Uh, and that showing up um, for the real version requires something specific from you, not perfection, um, not the sustained performance of being lovable, not the careful management of how you're perceived, even by someone who already loves you. Uh, it requires presence, the actual unguarded, I am actually here kind, not the version of presence that maintains a safe distance while appearing close, the version that closes the distance voluntarily, repeatedly, um, even when closing it feels vulnerable, especially then. Um, uh, and it requires honesty, um, the kind that says, here is what I need. Here is what I'm afraid of. Here is the thing I've been not saying, because saying it would make me too visible, too known, too dependent on your response to it. And I'm saying it anyway. Uh, because this connection deserves the real things, not the managed versions of them. Because the love of someone's life, the actual love, the irreplaceable one, is built from real things, not from the performance of connection, from the actual thing. Uh, Messy sometimes, imperfectly expressed, um, occasionally difficult, but real. Um, Consistently, sustainably, this is who we actually are real. And real between two people who choose to keep building it is the only thing that lasts, the only thing that earns the category of love of a life. Everything else is just a chapter, um, however beautiful, however intense. Um, a chapter, this is being offered as something more than a chapter. Um, and it deserves from you um, the kind of showing up that sustains something beyond a chapter, the daily kind, um, the unglamorous kind, the I choose you on the ordinary Tuesday kind. That's what this is asking for. Uh, and that, if you give it, uh, is what produces the happiness the title promises, not as a destination, as a daily, renewable, built by both of you reality. This reflection invites you to consider, where are you currently holding back in this connection from the fully present, fully honest, fully showing up version of yourself? Not as self criticism, as information. Because the place where you're holding back, however small it seems, is the place where this connection is being asked to grow, where the next level of what's possible, the love of a life level, um, is waiting for you to show up more fully than you currently are. Um, what would it look like to close that gap, even slightly, in the next week? Not perfectly, slightly. What's one real thing you could offer that you've been holding back that would move this forward? The power is yours. Uh, it always has been. You are the love of their life, not because the universe assigned you to each other, because something real, built from recognition and depth and repeated choice, has been assembling between you. Uh, and you specifically, particularly, irreplaceably, you uh, are what's at the center of it. Let yourself be that, not with performance, um, with presence, not with the curated version, with the real one, not with the waiting for the other shoe energy, um, with the this is mine, I built this, I am allowed to have this energy. Um, because you are allowed to have this, to keep this, um, to be very happy, not as a temporary condition, as a daily, renewable, both of you choosing it reality. Um, that's what's available right here, right now, in the connection you already have, um, with the person already in your life, choosing you as they have been, as they will. Uh, choose them back, um, fully, without the held back part, uh, without the waiting to be certain part, just uh, fully. That's the whole thing. Uh, that's always been the whole thing. Take what resonates, softly release the rest. Trust yourself. Tell me in the comments, what does being very happy actually look like in your daily life? Not the highlight version, the ordinary Tuesday version. Drop it below. And have you ever known in your body before your mind caught up that someone was the love of your life? What did that knowing feel like? Tell me. That's everything today. Go close the gap. Uh, the one between where you are and where you could be with one real thing this week. Not perfectly, really. See you soon, Virgo. Bye.